Well, when people get this PTS, it's going to be basically 1.4, right? But
An early version.
Exactly.
So the PTS server is going to be an early version of 1.4. As I mentioned in my other State of the Game videos, 1.4 patch is pretty much done. What they have decided on doing for the most part, and the limited amount of time and resources that they are spending on it, the 1.4 patch for the most part is probably done. There may be a few tweaks and touches that they might do to it up until the elite agent thing, or whenever those people going to Sweden is going to happen. And then probably a week after that is over is when they will send off their versions of the patch to Sony and Microsoft to let them review it and see if it will be accepted. And then when everything gets cleared with that, then it will go out. But the 1.4 patch is pretty much done, which leads me to my main question of what is going on with the patch. Why have they not said specifically what they aim to fix or what is already done? I don't understand why they're being so tight-lipped about it. Just tell us. Just tell us what things it is that they're working on or have fixed, and say, well, this is fixed, this is fixed, this is fixed. We're still working on this. This is almost done. We've got a solution for this. If I had a list of things, I could at least feel good about knowing I don't have to worry about these issues anymore, and these things that have plagued me will be gone. But reality sets in when they say that the Dark Zone and the other parts of the game, like weapon balancing and stuff, is not going to change. So that tells me that if I have an issue with the Dark Zone, if I have an issue with PvP, those issues will not be addressed. That is what they have already told me, which is fine. Which is completely fine. If they haven't had time to get around to that, then okay, that's fine. You have other things that you want to do. You want to focus on gameplay. That's okay, fine. I'll sit this one out. I'll play something else and then I'll come back. I'll sit this one out. When you have an announcement and you say, this stuff is fixed, this is going to be done, great. I'll come and I'll get up with you then. But by not telling me, kind of leads you on to where?
For example, if we wanted to do very specific tests on a specific thing, we can direct people to do that because we have more control over PC. Yeah. And then if we wanted to make one change to various different variables, we can do that. With console, we don't have that kind of flexibility. I'm sorry, I know there are so many console players out there who would love to get that opportunity, and we'd love to give it to you, but it doesn't. It's not something that we can do right now. And I think that's really cool that we can do specific focuses. So if we wanted to have people test, I don't know, a specific incursion or a specific dark zone or a specific weapon, yeah, we can really turn people towards that.
So the PTS is good for giving specific data on how to fix the game, some of the analytics and things like that, which are really good for them, and they can help to tweak and really fine-tune the game to be what they want it to be, or to be what consumers like you and I want it to be. If that's what it does, great. But it doesn't really, there's nothing I can do with it. BS4.
Will we be able to clone our console characters to the PTS? What's happening with characters?
So what we're going to do is that when we open the PTS and every time we patch the PTS, we will take all the saves from the live game and put them on the PTS. Yeah. It won't work the other way around, meaning all your progress that you'll get on the PTS won't be pushed to the live game.
No, there's no link there.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So your saves from the PC version, and it sounds like from the console, are going to be moved over to the PTS server. That's cool, but none of the progress that you make in the PTS actually goes back to the actual game, which kind of leads me to the question of why would you spend a lot of time testing and PTSing the game when you don't really get anything? I'd like to know what things are actually going on in the PTS server. If there was new content on that server and new things that you could play with and experiment and kind of see, maybe even new weapons, sure, totally be into it, want to test out some new stuff, that'd be great. But to have no new content and to be asked to go there and check this stuff out, who really wants to put that much time into it? How much data are they really expecting to get from the PTS after week 1 or week 2 when people say, you know what, this doesn't help my character at all. Fuck it. I'm going to go play the regular game. I'm going to go play Battlefield or Destiny or whatever.
Can verified console owners get a PC client to test? I don't know about that.
We're investigating as well.
But that would be, because I know there are a lot of people who play on console but happen to have a PC. We'll have a look at that. I mean, that would be cool, but we have to do verification and all that sort of thing. But
we are definitely looking into that.
Okay, cool.
So it is kind of good news that they mentioned confirmed console users getting some form of access to the PTS servers if they have a PC that doesn't cost them money. If that was the case, I'm sure that a lot of console players may be interested in just checking it out. Would they devote a lot of time into it? I would not recommend it, but would they check it out? Sure. Would they like to see what issues are fixed? Sure. But reality is bug fixes you're not really going to notice unless they were things that really happened a lot to you specifically. I know that the smart cover bug where it didn't deploy or it didn't really work, that happened quite often, but it wasn't so often that it happened 100% of the time. So even if they test and fix it and say, okay, we have a fix for it, it happened maybe, it didn't work for me maybe, I would say 3 times out of 10. And I might be lucky. Maybe it happened 10 out of 10 for you or 7 out of 10 for you. But it only happened a few times for me. And spending time on this PTS server to check to see if the bugs that I didn't like are fixed is fucking stupid. I don't want to spend my time testing the game. I want the game to work and I want new content and I want it to be fun. How hard is that to understand? Really?
We aren't going to go through the 1.4 content today, but there's going to be much more news about the 1.4 content coming very, very soon.
More news about 1.4 content coming soon. Coming soon. This is what I'm talking about. People will go to the PTS server if there is new content or content worth experiencing. Why aren't you talking about this content? Why aren't you getting me hype for the content? I'm not hype for bug fixes. Are you hype for bug fixes? I'm not. Bug fixes, and the more that I explain this, like Japanese keeps popping into my head, and the Japanese word atarimae. Atarimae is like shit that's already understood and that you should know and that should already be. It's atarimae. So a lot of this stuff that they're going on about and that they're getting hyped for and that these YouTubers are getting hyped for and trying to like promote to you as being the greatest thing ever and that you should be so excited about this is coming, this is getting fixed. All of that stuff is atarimae. It should have already been done. How are you getting hype for bug fixes? How are you getting hype for bug fixes? Who's getting hype for this test server? You can be a tester and not make any money. Who's hyped for this? Why are you hyped for this? I get a little excited sometimes, and I hope my audio isn't going to hell, but it just doesn't make sense to me at all. How? I'm gonna stop.
Also, to kind of hold hands with this whole process, we're going to be having specific PTS forums for people who are excited about that. That'd be very cool. Because it's one thing to test things with, and obviously we have analytics, like you said before.
Yeah.
That data is really good for us, and we can do a lot with it. But we also don't have the qualitative side of things without what you talk about.
So basically, for example, in the data, we're going to see that in this particular mission, a lot of players are dying on this particular encounter, but maybe we don't understand why they are dying. So we're going to run a survey with you guys and say which particular enemy is making it difficult, which kind of weapon are you using, which kind of cover are you using, that kind of stuff.
Yeah, exactly.
So they're making a new forum section for people who are playing on the PTS to give even more feedback. Basically, the game tester report page is what it should be called. They're going to make a forum section so that people can explain the context for things that are not working or things that are wrong. I don't really know what they expect people to write. Like, I shot my gun at this guy and he didn't die, or I really don't know. Or I shot smart cover at this wall in this area and it didn't work. These are reports for testing the game. It's going to be on a forum, a public forum. I'm kind of done. Really and truly, there's more that they go on about with the PTS, and I'm going to try to go through this as quickly as possible because I'm actually getting, if you haven't noticed, I'm actually getting really kind of aggravated even talking about this PTS thing because it's bullshit. I mean, that's what it is. It's kind of like, okay, this PTS stuff should have been like, it's the fact that they're trying to hype this up like it's something great or that you should be excited about or you should feel good about is kind of lame. And when I see people who are talking about this get really excited about it, I'm really confused because I don't understand like how this is so great to them. Yes, it does improve the game. I'm not disputing that fact. I'm not disputing that it will eventually improve the game. But is it something that we should get hype over? Definitely not. That is my point. If you want to get hype about the future of the game and saying fixes are incoming and they're asking you because they need your help, that and you can be part of the solution for the game, then yeah, that's fine. Whatever, that's great. But I'm not going to get hype over a test server. I'm not going to get hype about a patch for bug fixes. I'm going to get hype over new weapons. I'm going to get hype over new gameplay. I'm going to get hype over fixing bad choices in game design. I'm going to get hype for that stuff. I'm not going to get hype for fixing stuff that shouldn't have been broken in the first place. I can't do it. And you shouldn't either. If you see anybody on forums and stuff getting hype about this stuff and making a big fuss about it, ask them why are they hype about a test server that they cannot save any progress of their character with. Ask them why are they getting hype about being a game tester and not making any money off of it. Ask them why. See what they say.